last great Coliseum. How is it that a half-mile track in a population of over 30,000 can be viewed as one of the most exciting racetracks in all of NASCAR? A track that is electrifying, almost thunderous in some degree. It's simple. On other racetracks, you compete for points. Around here, you race. You let your driving do the talking, and at some points, you may let your bumper do the talking as well. 39 drivers will roar to life here in Thunder Valley. Let's get ready to rumble at Bristol as NASCAR and MDK presents the Food City 500 pre-race show from the Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. And it's an absolute gorgeous but cool day for round number 9 of the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. Temperature going to be in the high 50s, a slight wind west-southwest through the racetrack at 6 miles an hour, but no rain in sight. Green flag is scheduled to be on FS1 at 3:11 p.m. Eastern Time. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to an episode of MBK RaceDay. My name is Jet. Hope you're having a wonderful day. What a race we are going to be talking about. Round number 9 of the season from the Bristol Motor Speedway, which could be one of, if not the most unpredictable race we could see of the 2025 season. Now, before we get into what's going to happen today, let's flash back last Sunday at Darlington and look at the point standings. Denny Hamlin scored his second straight win of 2025, and as a result, he now jumps to second in the point standings, minus 49 behind leader William Byron. Christopher Bell, who jumps up a spot with his run in third place. Chase Elliott loses a spot in fourth. Tyler Reddick, with oh so close getting that win at Darlington, is now 5th, jumps up 2 spots. Larson, 4 positions he drops with his second to last place finish. Ryan Blaney jumps up 3 spots up to 7th. Bubba Wallace and Joey Logano remain 8th and 9th, and Alex Bowman, the biggest loser in the top 10, goes from 5th to 10th with his toe link and other issues last Sunday, minus 88. Now, even though he is the biggest loser from last Sunday, he is starting off with a bang this Sunday. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR and proud sponsor of the Busch Light Pole Award, given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event. Busch Light congratulates Alex Bowman with his second career pole at Bristol, his first since Miami last month, and the 7th career pole of his career, winning at the speed of 128.675 miles per hour. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $70 million in being a premier sponsor of the NASCAR Cup Series. So here's a look at the starting lineup for the 2025 Food City 500 alongside Alex Bowman on the front row. How about Ricky Stenhouse Jr.? He's always said this is his favorite racetrack, so it's no surprise to see him starting in second place. Row 2, pair of former winners, Kyle Larson on the inside lane and Denny Hamlin, the 2-time previous winners here in the NASCAR Cup Series and the defending Bristol Spring winner, starting alongside in the 4th position. Row 3, Ryan Blaney in the 12th car. How about Ty Gibbs? The last few weeks, that 54 ride has been showing a lot more pace. Nice run for him. Row 4 has Christopher Bell and AJ Allmendinger. We're starting to see that 16 car up towards the front much more often. And right at the top 10, how about a good run for the Spire boys, Carson Hocevar and Justin Haley on the outside. Row 6 has Josh Berry, another driver who is really good on the short tracks, especially at Bristol. Alongside him is Ty Dillon, another driver we've been seeing alongside with his teammate AJ Allmendinger, has been having some really good runs in recent weeks. Row 7 is Michael McDowell in the 7-1 ride. Alongside him is Chase Briscoe in the 19. Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski, former winners, take up row 8. Austin Dillon and Zane Smith make up row 9. And how about Jesse Love, competing in his Cup Series debut, starts in 19th alongside the 2020 Cup Series champion Chase Elliott. Row 11 has Austin Cindric in the 2 ride. Alongside him is Bubba Wallace in the 23. Daniel Suarez and Chris Buescher, who won here in the fall of 2022, make up row 12. Rookie Riley Herbst and William Byron make up row 13. Tyler Reddick and Eric Jones row 14, and round out the top 30 is Ryan Preece and Todd Gillen. Noah Gragson and John Hunter Nemechek make up row 16, row 17 Cole Custer and Cody Ware. Ross Chastain and teammate Shane Van Gisbergen make up row 18, shocking positioning for those two drivers. And how about this, row 19, Corey LaJoie making his first start since Atlanta in February. Joey Logano starting in the 38th position, with Josh Bilicki rounding out the 39 car lineup. Here's a look at the odds to win. Kyle Larson, no surprise, seeing that the best of odds. Denny Hamlin at plus 400. Bell and Blaney at 800, with William Byron at 900. Then Elliott and teammate Bowman 1100 and 1200. Gibbs at 1600. Logano at 2500, and Chase Briscoe at 3000. Then some big names with big odds. Keselowski, like I mentioned, a former winner here, finished in the top 10 here last spring at 3000. Kyle Busch, a former winner, at 3000. Tyler Reddick at 3500. Josh Berry, surprised to see him pretty good on the short tracks at 4,000. Chris Buescher, another driver, good here at Bristol at 4,000. Wallace at 4,000. Stenhouse at 4,000. And then Chastain at 5,000. Preece at 6,000. Austin Cindric at a whopping plus 8,000 odds. Okay, so what can we expect here at Bristol? Tires, 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 tires. That's all you're going to be hearing. We saw it during practice. Something with the temperature. Now, let's compare this year to last year. This year, the temperature is going to be about 10 degrees warmer than it was last year. Will that make a difference? We don't know. But I am getting this feeling that these tires just are not laying down rubber due to a combination of factors with the next-gen car and how it's built, but also because of how cold it is. It's like the colder the temperatures, rubbers just will not be laid down. As a result, you're going to see cording a lot. We saw in practice so many tires just were cording. The tires were a mess after just a very short amount of time. And we also saw some drivers lose it. We saw Brad Keselowski lose it, Chris Buescher lose it, had some big moments during the practice session, and not to mention qualifying 2 former Cup champions and former Bristol winners. Joey Logano, he spun it, backed it into the wall, kept it going, but still, like I said, it's going to qualify in the 38th position. And Kyle Busch, who spun but did not hit anything. We're seeing drivers, veterans, lose it. This race is going to be wild. And this is why I cannot, in this episode, at least for this example, I can't use previous Bristol stats. I can't, because this is a throwback. In today's next-gen era of racing, tires really don't matter. Even though Goodyear is trying their hardest to make the tires as soft as possible, tires really don't matter. This race will be a throwback to when tires really do matter. The only evidence or only historical statistics that we can go by is what we saw last year in the spring race, and that we saw a lot of the veteran drivers that were up front and finishing up front. The top 5 last year was Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Alex Bowman, and Kyle Larson. For the top 5 are going to be future Hall of Famers. I can't say Cup champions since Denny Hamlin's not one, but still, there are 4 of those 5 are drivers with incredible accolades to their name. So while this is a race where we expect the front runners, the stars of our sport to shine, this also is an opportunity for some of drivers that aren't used to being up front to be able to finish up front. I mentioned those top 5. The top 10 last year: 6, John Hunter Nemechek; 7th is Chris Buescher; 8th, Chase Elliott; Ty Gibbs; 9th, Christopher Bell. The top 10 I mentioned though, but John Hunter Nemechek, drivers that you really don't expect to see up there towards the front. That is something we could see as a possibility here today. It will be very interesting because it will be that switch. Something that Kevin Harvick mentioned during the broadcast is that there is a switch that happens as soon as you lose that tire. There is no gradual drop. It's like you got it and then you're on ice. It's like it's going to be very fun, very wild, very crazy to see which drivers are able to conserve their tires the best. This is not going to be a race where you can go all out. You're going to have to methodically work your way up towards the front if you're starting in the back, or conserve your tires. So this is going to be one wild race. I am very excited to see how this can play out. I mentioned those drivers I expect to see up front: Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson. Denny Hamlin has a ton of momentum to his name. You also look at a driver like maybe Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starting in 2nd place. He is a driver that could surprise a lot of folks here today. Really good here at Bristol. Look at some drivers that are starting in the back: Ross Chastain, Joey Logano. Those are big names starting in the back of the field. How will they work their way up towards the front? I mean, there is some wild cards that we could see up here in the field. It would not surprise me one bit if we do see some drivers that we don't expect to see up front, just because they're able to conserve their tires a lot better than someone else. This is going to be a race strictly on who is a better driver. This is not going to be a race based on aero. This will not be a race based on engine. None of that matters. It's almost a level playing field. Anyone's race. Whoever can be able to conserve their tires the best and still go the fastest will win this race. I know that's a redundant statement, but it's easier said than done. And especially here today, that will be a very, very difficult task for the drivers here today. Let's take a look at my Fantasy Live lineup. I got Denny Hamlin, Kyle Larson, his teammate Alex Bowman, Chris Buescher, and his teammate Brad Keselowski, and Josh Berry in the garage. I mentioned Berry, really good here on the short tracks. Had a great car last year in the spring when he was at Stewart-Haas Racing, so I got him in my garage. But the driver I do have winning, I got Denny Hamlin. I think Denny Hamlin will go 3 in a row here today. He's just got a ton of momentum on his side. He is really good at Bristol, really good at this style of racing, this style of short track racing. When you give Denny confidence, when you give him momentum, that's a dangerous combination. So I got Denny Hamlin going 3 in a row, winning here at Bristol. But what do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.